Hello and welcome to Pots and Trowels. Well, I'm going to be doing some pruning of this fan-trained peach tree today. And this is a tree that we planted 2 springs ago to train against this wall here. And the video of the planting, one of the initial training to get the fan shape, and one that we did this spring when it had the beautiful pink blossom on, can all be found on our YouTube channel. And today's video is brought to you with the support of Cobra Garden and King Seed. Now this is the perfect time to prune. We've had a good crop off this year, the first time it crops, because peaches produce their flowers and fruit on the previous season's growth. So that means all this lush growth it's made at the top here, next spring will have beautiful pink blossom followed by the fruit. But obviously, because I'm training this as a fan, I don't want it to get big and wild. A, we wouldn't be able to get to the peaches, and B, it just would lose that fan shape. So we tend to do it when the fruits have been picked, sort of by this time of the year. We're now 3rd week in August. So we want to do it while it's green. We try to avoid pruning in the winter to avoid problems, disease problems that they can get. So it's best to prune when they are actively growing. That does make it a little more difficult to see what you're doing. But essentially, if we look in here, we can see that these thicker, older branches were the ones that were made, because when it was very first planted, it was a single stem cut down to there, and then it produced these 2 main shoots and this one, and they have then produced these laterals which were tied in to produce. So that was last year's growth, and this soft growth here is this year. So what we're aiming to do is to take out some of the older, thicker wood that has produced the fruit, and then we want to tie in to create the fan again, some of this new growth. So it's never going to be a perfect fan. It's a case of replacement pruning and getting the shape that we want to fill this gap on the wall. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I don't need this sort of height. I've got other shoots here that I can tie in. So it's pointless having these really big shoots up here that are going to be in the way. So I know it seems quite harsh, but I'm going to take some of those off. So a nice sharp pair of secateurs, and sad to see it go, but that one has got to go. Likewise here, this one again, if we just trim these back, these aren't going to work. And I notice here that it has got a bit of bacterial canker. We've got this oozing coming out of the stem. They are prone to it. All members of the sort of cherry, peach family, almond family can get it. So anything like that, we'd be better taking it out anyway. So I'm going to get my secateurs in there and take that off as well. Okay, and that is actually tied on there. So a bit of string, so we can get rid of that. So what I'm going to do is just go around and lower the height a little bit, and then we can look at thinning it out and tying some of those in. So I've reduced it in height and taken some of the excess growth off. So before I start to prune much more off, I think what might be a good idea is to sort of try and tie a little bit of the growth in. Now, if you look in a book or online and it shows you a line drawing, it will always be absolutely perfect. But in reality, the trees don't grow that even. So don't be worried if your tree doesn't look like a drawing that you see. So if I start, for example, here, I can use some of these to sort of tie in here. It's going to be too long, but we can always take a little piece off sort of there. And then using some soft string, what I'm going to do is just tie it in. And ideally, if you can secure twice, that makes it easier. So I'm going to tie here, lower down. So I'm just looping the string round, and then that can be sort of pulled just loosely into position. I can always tighten it up a little bit afterwards. And then I'm going to try and get that onto there. So again, loop the string round it. like that. Now, at this stage in growth, they're just starting to firm up, but they're not too bad. So they are fairly flexible, but that's why I want to tie them in first. Should one snap, I've got others that I can tie in. So then what I'm going to do is just tie that one a little bit tighter, and just to pull that one back a little bit more. And if you just sometimes put a little pressure like that onto it, that holds it nice and firmly. So likewise, what I can do then is take one of these here, and again, with a little bit of persuasion, we can get that one to go into, tie it onto here to start with. So again, I always like to loop it around the wire twice, that it doesn't slip. Hold that to there, and then just tie that. You can just see into there. That's a bit of the old string on there, which we can get rid of in a minute. Onto there like that, and then trim that off. And then I just want to pull that a little bit tighter into there. Just holds everything in place, keeps it flat to the wall as well. So just gently, a little bit of pressure, not overdoing it. So just push that in. If you hear a crack, it's gone too far, and that's perfect. So again, I'm now getting that little bit of a fan shape going there. That now can be trimmed to just above the top wire, like that, and we can tie that one on again, probably shorten that a little bit. So that's filling that one in. Then I can put another one into there. Any thin ones like this that's growing out, we don't really need these, so they can be cut back. And any of these little thin ones here, because they're just going to basically clog everything up, and we need good airflow. That little weak one at the back can go, so it just spaces them out a little bit. So what I'm going to do is work one or two more across here, just to get you that rough idea of the shape that I'm trying to create. So you can see now I'm starting to get that fan shape out. Probably 2/3 of it has been cut away. So I just need to tidy up this bottom area here. And we've got, the peaches will be in that area there on all the new growth. What I need in future years is some more growth from the base. So what I need to do first of all is, if there's any dead in there, and there are one or two little dead bits here. So again, we always take out any dead bits. We never leave any dead wood in the tree, so they can be snipped out, those bits of string. I could tie that one to there if I wanted, but that would be a better one. So what I'm going to do with this one here and some of these smaller ones, if you cut them back hard to about just a centimetre or so, then they will send out new shoots this next spring, so that will help to give a bit more growth from the base. Likewise, if we cut some of these little bits back, and if I cut this one here, it's difficult to see, again fairly hard, that will encourage dormant buds from there. And what I can do is just tie that one in there, just to fill that gap in the middle really, because I'd just like to think we've got a little bit of growth in there. So we can tie that one to there. We're almost there with it. Then that one's going to bend in nicely. So we just tie that one off to there. It's too long, but that's not a problem. So what I can do is tie the top piece in to there. And it just gives us another stem that will be fruit bearing. And evens out the gap. I could actually tie that one to that top one as well. I've just dropped my string. No, I haven't, it's there. That's the trouble here. You should always have your string in your pocket, and I forget. Take the top out of there, and that can be tied to there, like that. Again, that one is probably surplus. I'm going to cut that back to a couple of inches, that one to a couple of inches. This one here can be tied to this one here, just to give us a low fruiting branch. And I'll probably put another piece of string on when we've finished, but just to give you the idea. Like that. And this one again, we can shorten these little bits here. And that, I think, is about it. That has given us, I might just tidy those up a little bit. Well, but that has given us that sort of fan shape that we're looking for. Hopefully, with pruning some of these back, we'll get new growth that will be some of the replacement. So some of these older ones can be cut back a little bit further next year. And then we should hopefully get a nice crop of fruit on there next year. So all I need to do is finish tidying it up, making sure everything is tied so it's nice and secure, so it won't blow around over the winter. And then what I'm going to do, because we've had such dry weather, is give it just a little bit of a feed, a general fertilizer, and a good soaking, 2 or 3 watering cans full of water, just to give it a bit of a boost, because it will often put on a secondary bit of growth in the late summer as well. But that is it. That's the pruning done, and we don't have to touch it again until this time next year. Well, thank you for watching, and don't forget all the videos that we've done, including the one on planting and the initial pruning, can be found on YouTube. And you can also find our weekly podcast there as well. For ease, just go to our website, pots&trowels.com, and you'll find everything that you need. We'll be back again in the garden next week, so we'll see you then. Bye.